Mark has his own theories about why he became a zoophile. But could there be a story common to all zoophiles? Some psychologists believe that events in early childhood determine our sexual development. Dr. John Money calls this journey our love map.
Everybody has a love map, and it's very easy for them to go wrong. What makes one boy or one girl's love map develop so as to end up being zoophilic instead of just ordinary? Nobody knows. However, if I try to reconstruct it in the case of a zoophile, that in early infancy this person was extremely deprived of tactile stimulation, which babies really need. And I've heard that story particularly from a woman paraphile who was kept locked away a lot of the time in the basement, and she was sexually molested by her uncle. She had been born of incest herself, and that was kept strictly undercover. And the only consolation she had in life was this little dog, and she would put it between her legs. And when she got fully grown, she liked it much better than her husband's form of sex. So you have a poignant story of how somebody could easily be switched along the path of zoophilia. And incidentally, nobody would ever live next door to that lady and guess it. She otherwise passed as a normal mother and housewife.
This may be one possible explanation, but not all zoophiles suffer abusive childhoods. The answers Hani Miletsky got to her survey suggest that there are no clear patterns. This has led her to the conclusion that zoophilia is not a sexual disorder.
It's not a real disease, if you want to call it that way. It's a way of life. In some ways, we can look at zoophilia at the same way that we look at homosexuality, because homosexuals come from all walks of life. There's nothing really that you can say that they all share other than having a sexual attraction to the same gender. And in that way, you can say that zoophilia is a sexual orientation too, because the only thing that makes them be one group is the fact that they have had sex with animals.
It was the sheer variety of zoophiles that most surprised Miletsky.
I didn't really become aware of zoophilia until much later in my life. I should say that when Miles and I moved into my room together, it became a little more intimate. The first time that I actually decided to take my clothes off and feel his fur next to my bare skin was pretty surprising. I was very curious there for a while how so many of us don't take our clothes off to allow our bodies to feel, our whole bodies to feel a direct connection with our animals. And that was one of the first things that I did, was I just stripped and got down and laid down on my bed and had Miles come up, and the two of us just laid down and took a nap together. And I remember waking, and I had my arms around him, and his paws were up on my shoulder, and we were nose to nose. And, you know, I woke up, and he gave me a lick on my nose, and it was just like a regular relationship, just feeling the comfort of his warm body next to mine, and it just never felt like anything was wrong with that. It always felt really natural to me.
Sarah was 36 when her husband began to suspect her relationship with Miles, the family dog. He decided to have Miles castrated.
Well, I would say that the act of castrating Miles was one of the nails in the coffin, but the threat to have him euthanized if he found out I was having anything to do with him that way was absolutely the last nail in the coffin of my marriage. I have a wonderful little pony stallion. His name is Sandy. The primary thing that gives me more joy above and beyond everything else is to harness him up, hitch him up to my little wagon, and off we go. I haven't really tried to do anything with Sandy, because Sandy is a young pony and he's got some growing up to do. So really right now he is kind of like a baby, but he will grow, and when he gets older he will be able to show me certain behaviors. Now, I will say that there have been times when I go out to the pasture to bring him up for his feed at night, and I'll walk on ahead of him and he just jumps right up on me.
And friends gather around, you'll want to be sure to have everyone's favorite cracker on hand.
Hi.
Nabisco, Ritz
How are you?
The original favorite.
Are you?
Sarah holds a job in the local shopping mall. No one here knows that she is a zoophile. All they know is that she left a comfortable middle-class suburban life to come and live here.
And that's going to be $5.61 now.
I would have to say, in my life, looking back at all the relationship I've had with humans, that it's been really frustrating and it's been really hard.
You can't read that woman's mind.
And it's not because I lack interpersonal skills, because I don't. I get along quite well in the world with people. But as far as really being able to extract any really great and tremendous personal happiness, it's been lacking. And I've found that when I'm sitting quietly at home and my dog is asleep here at my feet and he sits up and rests his head here on my lap and I can put my hand on him and the two of us sit, that at that moment I know such pure happiness and contentment that can't be equaled and has never been equaled.
Many pet owners have intense, loving relationships with their animals. When they die, they mourn them as if they've lost a close member of the family.
They lived in the house with us. They sat in the chairs with us. They ate what we ate. They slept in our bed. They were very much like children.
Yes, just like
we
children.
don't have children, so they were our family.
It's a two-way love, you know. You take care of them and they show affection to you, and they live in every...
But you'd never take advantage of that.
The idea of any sexual contact with animals would horrify most pet owners. It would be as unnatural as having sex with a child.